Well, hello, old friend. It's just a fact of life you're going to have things break on your truck. You do have options. You know, if you're a company driver, you just pretty much gotta do what they tell you. Even when you know what's wrong, a lot of times people just don't want to listen to you. But if it's your truck, or you're one of those guys that leased a truck and you're responsible for all the repairs, you do have options. So I'm going to help you save a little money here, show you a few things you can do just for reference, because I don't want you saying, you know. But hopefully I can put some ideas in your head and you can figure out some good ways to save money too. So let's take care of this check engine light. So I got this check engine light here, and if you look at the diagnostic screen, you know, you just turn it and it says faults found, no warning. So that's a good sign right there. Hit engine, connect service tool. That is actually really pointless, but I do have an alternative here. There's a couple different alternatives. This little triangle here on these Peets, if you have one of these navigation screens, you just hit that, hit the diagnostic, and it'll tell you what code popped up. But if you have a PeopleNet, like I do here, you just go to your home screen, hit the fault codes, and it'll tell you what it is. So it just had a little bit of a hiccup. This will go away, and I know that. So if you're not sure what these other codes are, I mean, a lot of these are just ghost codes, and this pretty much is too, but I'll explain that. Ghost codes are just kind of more or less just gremlins that pop in and out on trucks. They really don't mean anything. It's just the truck had a little bit of a hiccup, and it just sent a little bit of a spike, or did a little bit of a power draw, or something hiccuped, and that's pretty much all they are. Now, if you don't have any of this stuff and you don't have a service tool, there's several different options. Now, if you're at a truck stop like this TA, you can get it fixed here. You can get it diagnosed and plugged in, or there's a Goodyear across the street that will do the same thing for you. So that's the advantage of being near a big chain truck stop. But if you're not around any of those and you're still kind of curious, there's another way. Now, if any of y'all are YouTube junkies like I am, there are several different methods you can, using blinking lights on the instrument panel and certain things, and you'll have to discover those due to make, model, number. You know, most Peterbilts and Pack cars are pretty much the same. I think you turn the key on and tap the, if I remember right, you tap the gas 3 times quick or 5 times quick. Just tap, 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 and then the stop engine light will come on. It'll blink, pause, blink, pause, blink, pause, blink, pause. And how many times it blinks between the pauses, you know, it will drink. Like with this one, it would be 5 blinks, pause, 4 blinks, pause, 5 blinks, pause, 8 blinks, pause, and that will give you your code. Now, I don't know how it works on, you know, Freightliners and all that, but there are standalone methods like that that you can use to get the numbers. And once you get your numbers, you can Google them, and they will tell you, for the most part, what they are. And this is where you kind of have to have a cool head and be very familiar with your truck. It takes a while to get familiar with your truck, and every time you get a new truck, you have to refamiliarize yourself with the truck, because basically it's a new thing. So it's important to keep a level head and not freak out. But the first few times you get some check engine lights and stuff like that, it's not a bad idea to take it to the shop, have it put on a diagnostic machine, and just start getting familiar with your truck and what's happening. And pretty soon you'll know what's common, what's not, and you'll know how to fix it, or how long you have. With these new trucks, about the most frightening thing you can have with a new truck is a stop engine light or a D-rate. And those are something you're just going to have to deal with. D-rates will give you some time, stop engines won't. But a lot of times the stop engine is nothing very serious, but you need to learn that. The D-rates are weird. I had a code pop up one time. It was just one instant, went inactive, but it D-rated. So you kind of have to watch yourself and make sure that your truck's running well, and just take care of these problems as they come like that. So there's no hard, fast rules, but at the same time, if you're familiar with your truck, you can deal with it much more efficiently. Don't really worry so much about saving a lot of money on the big ticket items, because those are going to break and you can't fix those yourself for the most part. Worry about saving money on the smaller things, stuff you can control, like these brackets on the exhaust. I've had 2 of them break. Went down, bought the brackets, put them on myself, saved a lot of money. Now, I just took the truck in the shop. I had an antifreeze leak under the bunk. It cost me $65 for a guy to tighten a clamp, but I didn't know what was wrong, and not climbing around under the truck in a filthy parking lot is worth $65 to me. But that being said, worry about the things you can fix. You know, all your nickel and dime maintenance items do add up. So if you can fix them yourself, try to do that. But don't be afraid to take the truck into the shop if you have to. As a truck owner, you're going to be making lots of decisions on what needs to be fixed now and what can wait. I'll show you some examples. I got a door handle here that kind of needs, the spring's gone out in it, but it still clocks, it still opens, and I can fix that myself when I get home. And the window regulator is kind of seizing up, so when I get home, I'll fix that also. I hit a pothole, but I have a new bumper coming, but that's something I'm going to need help fixing. But it's still DOT legal, and we'll get it replaced this next week. This is one I probably am going to need a shop for, or I'm going to need to fix it at home, because this is going to take a little while longer. Now, while this technically isn't DOT legal, it'll fly for now, because and I'll show you. The park light on this is out, but the blinker works, so that's all I'm really worried about right now. But the problem with this is it's got a wheel well on the inside that's all bolted up, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to come off. So while this is on the fringes of being legal, it is something that's going to have to get fixed, but it doesn't have to get fixed immediately. Like if you have a headlight out or a turn signal out on the front or the rear. Those you got to get fixed. Now this last little segment is one that's it's gonna wear on a couple people. It might rub a couple people wrong, and if it do, I apologize. But where do you get your truck fixed? A lot of people have their druthers. They'd rather take it to their hometown mechanic, and if you're there all the time and he charges you a good rate and he's a good guy, nothing wrong with that. I support hometown businesses a lot. But if you're jet setting cross country and all that, and you're gone for 2, 3, and 4 weeks at a time like I am, your options kind of get cut in half. And a lot of people think that I waste a lot of money. You know, I took it to the TA, or I could get the truck fixed at other places a whole lot cheaper. But I've learned my lesson. You get what you pay for out here. And while they're like, yeah, well, the TA will screw it up, little secret, they might, but my hometown guy screwed it up too. But if you get 2 or 3 hours down the road and something happens that was their fault, I got the receipt, I could take it to the next TA and he'll fix it. And I've had that happen. They called up the other TA, said, yeah, we fixed it. Excuse me. We did some warranty work, it didn't hold. They've made it right. I've had that happen a couple times. So that's something to think about. When you're out here on the road, you're going to spend money. And cutting corners, fixing your truck is not the place to spend money, or is not the place to save money. This is how you make your living. Fix your truck on your time. Don't wait for the truck to break. I had time today. I'm getting a restart over here in Candler, North Carolina. I got to deliver on Wednesday, and so I'm here early. I'm here really early. So I decided to get a restart and had a leak that needed to get fixed. The leak would have held. I'm convinced it would have held till I made it back, but why go cross country? And if I was to get pulled over a pit and he was to look up, see the antifreeze leak, he'd write me up. Cost hardly anything to get it fixed. Got it fixed. Turned out to be nothing. Same way with tire shops. If you're dealing with national accounts and whatnot, by all means, it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to get the base price despite where you go. But if you're buying them wholesale or retail on the market, it gets a little tougher. But when fixing your truck, saving money is one thing, cutting corners is something completely different. So just watch what you do, spend the money when you have to. And me personally, this is the part that rubs people. I stick with national chains out here on the road when I get things fixed, because if something happens, it's their fault. I can get it corrected a whole lot easier than if there's only one shop in the country I can take this back to. And a lot of times I can't make it back to that shop before I get it fixed. And whether that guy is going to honor that repair is something completely different. So that's something to think about. But get things fixed on the road. You have your choice, and just don't cut corners. Try to make wise decisions and try to be profitable out here. You can spend a little extra money and still be profitable. So I hope this video has helped. There's not a whole lot to it, but something that's been weighing on my mind. You know, keep an eye on your truck, learn your truck, and your truck will be a whole lot simpler and not as confusing if you figure it out. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.